Here we are, part 2 of my miniature figurines battle. What if you've not watched part 1, it don't really matter too much. You can understand what's going to happen now, but part 1's on YouTube, so if you watch part 1, hello. For part 2, if you've not watched part 1, you might want to go and watch it. If you haven't watched either, that means you're not here and I'm talking to myself. Yeah, it's me, Galen. Galen's got Parkinson's, and I'm going to carry on with the game. So first thing you do now is sort out the morale, and anyone with losses and counters needs to test morale. So these units are fine. Now these wolves lost 2. In the first video I only had them down as 1 because they lost a wolf, but they actually lost a wolf and a rider. So they've got 2, 4, 6. Oh. Why is that? I don't know what happened there. That's what they should have had at the start. Why have they got 6? Where have the other 2 gone? This is starting well, isn't it? Yeah, they have 6 and they've lost 2. I don't know what's happened there. How strange. So, they need 8 or less. 4. So they failed morale. So they run away. The trolls are in big trouble because the trolls as a unit of 12, but they've lost 10. So they've got to get 2 or less. In other words, they've got to get a double 1. Oh heck, the wolves had to get that and less, and they did. I told you, if you watched the first video, I said I'd get that wrong. The trolls have definitely gone. They limp off. Now, in some ways you can say, well, it's quite harsh the way the morale works, but in other ways, for a campaign, it means you've still got 2 trolls. So if you're in a campaign with limited figures, they might be all your trolls up the spout. You might have lost them. These chaps, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, no, 10. So they must have lost 2. Actually, if I think rightly, they've lost 3, haven't they? I took 2 off and an extra 1, so they've lost 3. So 3, 4, 5, 9. They've got to get 9 or less. They do. That's not a problem. So that's them, and it's the evil forces to go next. And I know that because I put that on them. That was the last thing I did. I've decided I'm going to just, once I've got initiative, I'm not going to throw for it every time. I'm just going to keep going. So it's the evil forces, and they've got several options here. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is the Nazgul, who doesn't need any command dice, is going to fly and block himself. That's a technical term, that's what it's called when Nazguls land there. And he's doing that because he now controls any unit within 6. So, these man-orcs, and these wolves don't need to test. So the first thing I'm going to do is, you've got to remember, this is not a column. This is a clump. That clump, without a test, is going to attack there. He's still within 6. Yeah, he's still within 6, so he's going to give them an extra point. They're already tough. So they've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 of them. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 12 of them. Now they're not elite, they're 5 and 6. And to be honest, they're fighting dwarfs anyway, who are tough as old boots. So they're both going to get 5s here for armour and everything. but they're going to get an extra dice because the commanders are there. Sort of boosts them up a bit of morale, you know. Don't want to let themselves down in front of an Nazgul. Go home embarrassed. So they need 5s and 6s. They've got 3. Right, could have been worse. Oh, they've got another one there. Right. So this is their attack on the dwarfs. The dwarfs need 5s and 6s to save. 2, 3. So that's 3 dwarfs who are out of the picture. 1, 2, 3. There. So I'll take them off, just to make life simpler. And I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 dwarfs. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I often have the good units smaller, especially if they're sort of like elf archers and things. So again, I'm fighting with 5. These are all fighting in here. 5s and 6s. Dodgy. 2. That's not good. You know, everything I just said about those dwarfs been hard. Forget that. Right, so the man-orcs save on 5s. They don't. They've lost 2. 2 each. Could have been worse. So, now, I'm going to test morale first of all. So if they started at 12, 10, they've got to get 10 or less. The man-orcs. Yes. The dwarfs. Yes. So both sides succeeded. Because the man-orcs attacked and they haven't been successful in breaking the dwarfs, they are pushed back. And that happens in things like Dragon Rampant and so on. Right, so that's the first attack. Now the second attacks are going to be these guys. I think they're going to plough straight into those Athelians. Because that stops the Athelians, yeah, it stops the Athelians shooting, and I hope that once the man-orcs get in amongst the humans, they will wreak havoc. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Now, they were in range of the captain there, but they're not now, so they don't get the extra dice. So it's 5s and 6s. 4. They save on 6s, the Athelians. There's no armour and they're archers. They're not really designed for this sort of caper. They've lost 4. 2, 4. Which is sad. They don't like that. Now they do fight back. They've got 4, 5. I'm not putting the captain in, but I will put these in. 6, 7, 8, 9. They're all part of the same unit, but he's captain in, and I will put him in. 10. I will put him in. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. The captain's slightly different, so instead of hitting on a 6, he hits on a 5 and 6. No, he doesn't, because he's a captain, and the other guys hit on 6s and they got not 1. So the man-orcs didn't lose anybody, which is what they'd hoped. The humans have lost 3. They had 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 10. So they've got to get, they've lost 3. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Right, so they've got to get 10 or less. 7, they're alright. So again, the man-orcs, despite doing all that damage, held them. So now I think, on the grounds that this is an all-out clobber everybody sort of an offensive, I'm going to send in the wolves. Send in the clans. Off they go. Off, and again, they're within 6 of him. So they go in. Now they've got 4 dice, which double because they're fighting infantry, to 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. And again, they are ferocious, but they're fighting dwarfs. the dwarfs are not letting them get through to the elves. Going to do that. Oh, it's all right. I'll do that. So these are going to get fives. Both sides going to get 5s and 6s. The wolves got 2. They save. No, they don't. Take them off. That's another 2. Looking a bit dodgy for the old dwarfs there. The dwarves have got 2, 4, 6, 8 at the start. 2, 4, 6, 8. They're going to fight back with 5s and 6s. 2. They're going to save on 5s and 6s. They save 1. One of them dead. There he goes. That's another one of them. Right, now. So the dwarves test first. Gosh, 2, 4, 5. I'm 12. 7. See, I know they didn't have 12, but the extra 2 is almost like their bonus morale. So they have to lose 2 before they're in trouble because they're resilient. So they've lost 5, so they've got to get 7 or less. 8. The dwarfs have gone. They beetled off those dwarfs. That was, I mean, when you look all those counters, that's a big wallop there. The wolves lost 2. We'll see if they lost 3. Which becomes 6. So they've got to get 6 or less. Yes, they've got 5. Now, because the wolves are speedy, fleet-footed, and rapid, and they won, they get a bonus charge. Well, it's not so much bonus charges, an amble into them. Those elves are too juicy a target. 3, 1, 2, 3, 6, and again, they're going to go at 5s and 6s. 3, the elves saving on. We give the elves 5s and 6s because they're elite. No, didn't save any. The elves lost 3. The elves fight back with 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, they're elite. So they need 4s. 1. They're saving on 5s. No, they don't. There's another one of them gone. Right. So we'll look at morale here now in a minute. We'll do that at the end because when all the fighting's finished, you'll go across my lines, see where I'm up to. Now, because the elves up in the rocks have got a frowny face on them, those elves in the rocks cannot shoot. They can defend themselves, but they can't shoot. So, when these chaps, oh, they do need to activate. So then you need a 6. Double 1. Right, I'm taking that off, and I'm going to put it on them. Right. Ends their turn. So now we'll do their morale. So let's go along. They're all right over there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. They've got to get 10 or less. Oh, they've got 10 or less. I've done it again. They've got 10 or less. They've got 3. Flipping heck. The wolves have got to get 4 or less. 4. Champions. These manhawks have got to get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 or less. They're fine. The goblins have got to get 9 or less. They're fine. Well, well, well. Would you Adam and Eve it? So now it's the good guys. Oh, hang on. They didn't break them. So, first job. Okay. Guy and elves. Needing a 4 are going to shoot them. Yes. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And the range is, it goes up in tens. 10, be short, 20, it's short range. So it's 4, 5 and 6. Come on, lads, a little leather in it. Make a game of it. They've gone, oh, they've gone, right. They're the hits. So now they're saving on. I mean, you could argue, if you wanted to try, like, modify your rules, you could say their shields are on that side and they've been shot that side. I'm not doing that, it's too complicated. Because they're not in columns and groups anyway. So they save on 5s and 6s. 2 save, 4 dead. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, let's have a look at our situation there about them. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sure as you're watching this, you're thinking, oh, that could do better than that. Well, great, that's fantastic, do better. It's brilliant. I can't think of any situation that more warrants you to say, I could do better than that. Now, here's the thing. Those elves, that's a very juicy target. 2, 4, 6. Can I finish? Should I finish off the man-orcs or just nobble the wolves? Not really in a position to put anything else in the way of the wolves, am I? Except that my elves don't stay. Right, let's see if I can activate the elves. Need a 4. Yeah, 6. So they can move half. You see, you could make elves move further if you wanted, couldn't you? Because they're fleet-footed. Could make the goblins move faster. You can do what you like. They're your rules. I'm just showing you a very quick way of almost inventing a game on the hoof. They're going to shoot. Let's finish off the man-orcs, 9 inches. 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6. I'm looking at 4s. Could have been worse, could have been better. I've hit 3. Oh, I've killed 3. Killed 3. Let's get them on there. 1, 2, 3. So I'm still in control at the moment. I've got the elves on the hill. Okay, I know. Those elves can shoot over units because they're up the hill. That's the whole point of capturing the hill. So those wolves are middle distance, 18. So that's 5 and 6. 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6. I'm going to shoot down onto the wolves. Easy, 5 or 6. And I'm not going to give them +1 like I did in the first game. I'm going to give them an extra dice. So I'm looking at 5s and 6s. 1, 2. Yeah, 2. The wolves save on 5s, save 1, they lose another 1. So they've got 1 left there. I don't think 1 will stay. I'd be surprised if he gets a double 1. I'd be really surprised. Now, okay, I'm going over here now to these humans who are within sort of assault distance of the edge of that line. They're in a shield wall at the moment, it don't matter. So they're just men, 6s. Got it. So they're going to go. Now again, they're in a clump. So the sort of rules in things like these Osprey games is if one man hits, they all hit. Again, it's not usually sophisticated, but we used to say where one, is a millimetre away, it's like in Shaco, so he can't move. Seems a bit sad. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 I've got there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The officer, who's one of them, he hits on a 4 because the others hit on 5. So that's the officer's hit. Man-orc says on 5. No, he doesn't. So that's 1 dead already. And then the others are hitting on 4s, 5s. Yeah, 4s. No, fives. 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 I've had this conversation with myself more than once. So I've hit 4. They're saving on 5s. Saved 2, lost 2. And in total now they've lost 3. They fight back. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. It isn't 12, is it? Because they've lost 3. It's 9. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. They're hitting back. They're on 5s and 6s. That's quite good, I think. Looks good. Oh, it's the same 4. And I'm saving with all my armour. So I'm saving same as them, 5s. I lost 1. So I did better than them. I lost 1. Right, so their morale. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. They've got to get 9 or less. 11. They've gone. Ouch. Ouch. When I watch this back and edit it, I'm going to see loads of mistakes. I know I am. But there you go. Game's a game, isn't it? Ouch. That's nasty. Still the good guys. Oh, I'm going to try and exploit that gap then. I'm going to shoot these elves. Yeah, I am. 2, 4, 6. And they shoot these lads. 2, 4, 6. It should be 4s. Soft cover would be 5s. Hard cover's 4s. So I've hit 3. They are saving. Normally it would be 6s because they're goblins. But it's 5s and 6s. In soft cover, save them on 4s because they're in rocks. To save them all. Ping, ping, ping. Done. Those blue knights now are on the way. And again, we're all advancing in clumps. There's nothing pretty about this. Just want to intersperse me around those chappies. And I think while I've still got moves, I'm going to run those spearmen forward. So they need a 6. Yep, correct. They're going to run forward through this gap to there. They're going to throw loads of spears. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 spears. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 spears at the wolves. And it's 6s only. 2 hits. The wolves need 5s. They didn't get 5. There's only one of them there. Oh, he's gone. I suppose what I could have done as well is, I think early on I said 2 hits for a wolf is 1 figure. And then I forgot, and you know, it's not right sophisticated, this. But if I'm playing on my own, I'm talking to you, so I'm sort of explaining it, and I'm going to watch it back and things. If I was playing this game on my own, I wouldn't even notice half of this stuff. So, it don't matter that I keep making mistakes. It's my game, what you can do, sue me. It's irrelevant, isn't it? I'm having fun. Leave me alone, I'm having a laugh. I might as well move those men. They would need a 6. They got a 6. They're just really coming up to keep in contact. That captain will just come up anyway. My commander's coming up anyway. And that's everything done. So, start of the bad phase, we're testing morale. They've lost 3 out of 12. They've got to get 9 or less. 8, they're all right. They've got to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They've got to get 3 or less. No, they've gone. That's sort of it, really. Now, because we started off with 10 units, I use that as a sort of standard thing. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. So if I start on 10 units and I say I've got to get, I don't test them down to 9, and then it's 9, I've got to get Perhaps I could do it on a D10, I suppose, couldn't I? Let me find a D. Hang on, stay with me. I'm going to get a D10. I've got loads of these. I can never remember what's a D10. That's a D10. Right, so I've got 5 units. So on a D10, I've got to get 5 or less. 7. So the evil army has turned tail and ran off. So that's the end of that. But all these men that have run off, I mean, I've got goblins and hobgoblins here, they've not even got involved, but they're all ready now for the next combat. So they don't even have to worry about finding units and things. I mean, I've got 5 units on the field, and I've got units now that came off with quite a few chaps, so it wouldn't be hard to put an army back together. And in this game, it means the good army won. And that's how I'd play it if I was playing on my own. If you're watching this, you can see 100,000 flaws in this. I like an exaggeration. But the point is, it doesn't matter. It flows. I've had that entire game in an hour. And I can move on. I can have another game. I'm not saying I'd play it with anybody else. I think we'd have to be a lot more sophisticated. We'd have to write things down. But I'm not going to do that because it's just me. It's me. So, and you can do yours. And that's what we did in the 70s. First thing I ever did was I used to spend more time writing rules than playing. I had rules for weather. I had rules. Do you want to add another 2 if you're on a road? You know, add a couple if they've got a drummer. Help keep them in step. You could be really sophisticated if you want. Or it could be dead simple. It doesn't have to be like some mystic, strange ceremony you go through having a war game. It can be the simplest thing in the world. And to be honest, when I was a kid, it had to be. It really had to be. We just used to throw a 6 to kill people. In fact, before that, we used to use elastic bands and flick pellets at them. So, or throw Lego bricks. It weren't clever. But we had a game out and we loved it. We had a laugh. So, all I'm saying is, this is what I do. Using my old figures, on my own, in the privacy of my own little war games room kingdom, where nobody comes, it's just me, and I've let you in, and I'm beginning to wonder if I've made an awful mistake. Okay. Ta-da, Chuck!